Hello everyone, it's Ty Wulf back here again with another very quick tip this time. So this time I'm going to clear up a couple of those very techie music theory kind of terms. The kind of terms that you hear and just makes your ears start to bleed and it makes you start to think that, man, I'm never going to learn all this crazy music theory crap. Well, today we're going to talk about the difference between chromatic and diatonic. They're really quite very simple concepts. They just have fancy techie names. So let's get into it. Both of these terms, chromatic and diatonic, refer to how you move up and down the neck, whether it pertains to a scale or not. So let me demonstrate what I mean by that a little bit better. We'll take all the notes of the A minor scale here, just because it's easy for me to remember, right? And if we were to move up the scale by every scale step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is the octave. Right, so that's the whole scale. So you would call that moving up the scale diatonically. It goes one tone at a time, and you can correct my etymology if you need to, but I think that means dia, one, tonic, tone, so you're moving one tone or one scale step at a time. It's diatonic. So chromatic means that you hit every single note in between. It's every half step. So in order to move the same space from the A to its octave, chromatically, you would have to go like this. It hits every step in between, which is called chromatic or chromaticism. Now, chromatic runs and chromatic riffs, you hear about these, they don't necessarily mean that you have to hit every note in a row. It usually just refers to that you're hitting notes in a row instead of hitting notes by scale step, which is diatonic, right? So we'll recap that again. Diatonic movement by the scale steps. Chromatic movement hitting the steps in between. I'll break the string skips down for that chromatic run for you a little bit more because you're just hitting every note in a row, but then you need to know where to switch to on the next string to find the next note in the sequence, right? So a general rule is you move forward 4, that's all 4 of your fingers, so you run out of fingers and that's a good spot to start over, right? So then you hit the next string, but you go a half step lower than your original root note on the next string. So if we start up here on 5, the next one's going to be 4, and the next one's going to be 3, and then your octave is just the next half step higher, so that's why I just slide forward with the pinky there, but you could find that same note down here on the 2nd fret on the G string. That's when it starts to get weird because, as most people who play guitar know, the B string is a little bit differently oriented as far as the way the notes are lined up. So it stops being tuned in fourths at that B string, so the pattern doesn't work after that. But the general rule is you skip a string, you go down a half step, and that's where your chromatic run continues from. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. I hope that clears up some confusion. That's all I have to say for today. I hope you all have fun out there, and join me next time for my next video.